Welcome everybody to WrestleMania at the Performance Center Part 1. This is Part 1 review of WrestleMania 36 that was supposed to take place in Tampa, Florida. I forgot the name of the stadium that was supposed to take place in.
Raymond James.
Yes, Raymond James Stadium. But now, unfortunately, due to the pandemic that's going on out, the global pandemic, everybody was forced their hands to, social distancing and separate so we can flatten this curve. And of course, it just so happened to be around WrestleMania season. So that means there are WrestleMania with no audience, no live audience whatsoever. And Vince McMahon did not postpone the event.
Not at all.
He gave us the event now. So it's too big for just one night. So we got part 1 and part 2 of WrestleMania. And I have to say, I will give WWE credit where credit is due, because you cannot beat WWE on the cinematic front. But then I'm going to call out problems where there are problems. But joining me on this review is not Deion Sanders for Primetime.
What's going on, everybody? It's me, PRIME.
Yeah, welcome back, man. I'm sorry you missed our WrestleMania podcast. I was kind of curious to hear some of your answers to the things I had to say.
Yeah, man, yeah. I'll probably have to redeem myself later on, give them
But no,
hard times, man.
I understand that, but you're here now for part 1 of WrestleMania. So we're going to go ahead and there's 16 matches, and then there's 2 pre-shows, which you don't have to get everybody on the card.
Yeah, for real.
And we got Drew Gulak and Cesaro tonight, and then tomorrow we're getting Natalya and Liv Morgan. Why? I'm like, if y'all want to do a pre-show, where's Ricochet?
No build-up. Nothing.
None. And this is one of the problems I had. They broke the record, so 18-match card. Obviously, a lot of people were supposed to be in the Battle Royal. They had no Battle Royals, obviously. It just breaks the code, too many people in the ring. But, honestly, they have to decrease the number of matches. I understand.
Yeah, they do. Or I'll say at least decrease the number or just change them. Like, just don't have one-on-one matches.
Exactly.
Back to back.
Like, what needs to happen is, because even though this was a tape show, that's fine. But what needs to really happen is it needs to be like, I can understand a regular pay-per-view have 7 matches to 8 matches. That's fine. WrestleMania 10 to 11. That's fine, because certain matches need more time than other matches do. But when you put 16 matches on there, certain matches not going to get time. Well, now, since we have twice in 2 different nights, certain matches got time and certain matches didn't need time.
Yeah, that's right. That's true.
At all. So, first off, let's just start off with the positive. Number 1, Stephanie McMahon came up on and told everybody, obviously, what's going on. This is not WrestleMania the way they used to it. Because look, everybody go back, it's not WrestleMania, it's not my WrestleMania. I get it. But peep this. If they postponed it, we would have been mad. Because they'd be like, it's not WrestleMania season.
I don't think nobody would have been mad because they know what's going on.
But here's the thing. I'm like, so they would have been disappointed because somebody's going to bitch about something anywhere along the line. Then,
yeah, it's always going to happen anyway. So might as well do it the safe way rather than trying to do something on the fly by the seat of your pants.
I agree, but I do give WWE credit for trying to give us entertainment with so much shit going out here in the world. So we got to watch WrestleMania this weekend. So should everybody know that? So welcome to WrestleMania. So first of all, they did the America the Beautiful. They did a whole montage of every celebrity that has sung America the Beautiful, not the national anthem, America the Beautiful. They kind of chopped it up and put it together. I thought that was nice.
I thought it was nice up until
Michelle.
Until they got the Willie Nelson.
To what? Damn. Look, I know Willie Nelson lacked the soul because they literally had all colored people up there.
Yeah, Boys to Men and Fantasia, John Legend, all them.
Yeah, Aloe Black, Ray Charles, Aretha Franklin. Literally.
Little Richard was his wasn't good either.
Yeah, then you had Michelle Williams from Destiny's Child that nobody cared about Michelle. Don't nobody care about Michelle. But
I can't remember. Did they show both Aretha's or just the first one?
Well, just the one. I don't know if she sung American Beautiful at WrestleMania 23.
She did.
Oh, she did? Okay. Well, yeah, so, they only showed off from WrestleMania 3, which Vince marks over to this day. Okay.
Yeah, that might be his favorite rendition.
I think that's his favorite one right there. He's like, fuck anything else. We show Aretha twice. So, but I like that how they ended with Ray Charles, because Ray Charles is one of my favorite also from WrestleMania 2.
I like how they had the Boys to Men though. Side note.
I like how they put Boys to Men too. Like Philly, I miss you.
Low key. I feel like they cut out Mike even in that one too.
Bro, they cut out Mike, but they damn sure had the camera on him though. They damn sure had the camera on Mike though. But so they had that. Then they had the WrestleMania opening, which I thought was creative because it was like they kept cutting it. Like no, do it again because they're illustrated. This is a tape show, so it's self-aware, and I like that.
Okay, but I just gotta. Okay, I seen this commercial, right?
Yeah.
And I thought it was gonna be this family that was watching TV, was watching wrestling, and like people just like the wrestlers just like came and invaded their house, like punching their walls out and stuff. I thought it was gonna be like a sort of a in your house situation. Turns out it was just a commercial for all the wrestlers to get together to do a John Cena dance, a TikTok dance.
Yeah, that sucked. But I mean, that would have been cool. But once again, though, we have the whole pirate theme for WrestleMania, so obviously you gotta stick with the pirate theme. I thought it was cool. I thought they had the Captain Jack Sparrow, the imitator, doing his voice and doing all this. So I thought the America the Beautiful and how it opened was great, and I was like, all right, we off to a good start. That's what I'm talking about. You can't beat WWE when it comes to cinematics. Then Rob Gronkowski got up on the screen, and Rob Gronkowski is sitting there trying to get hyped. They bring Mojo back, and now both of them, these annoying sumbitches, is hosting WrestleMania.
And you thought it was just gonna be Gronk? No way.
No, and I was just like, he's like, let's get ready for WrestleMania. So the first matchup we have is Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, who don't have a team name, going up against the Kabuki Warriors for the Women's Tag Team Championships.
Yeah, you forgot too, didn't you?
Yeah. Look, here's the thing. Asuka was the MVP of this matchup because of the added commentary she had. By the way, JBL's back on commentary.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, the Hall of Fame, like he didn't do too bad tonight.
He didn't do too bad, but it's like we could have got like I don't know anybody. Well, I guess it's fine, but he was getting annoying on commentary for a while. I mean, might as well make it entertaining and have Booker T come out and say ridiculous stuff. Boom, pow, crazy kung fu chicken or something like that. It's like, so crazy.
So the match to me got too much time. This is what I was talking about, where when you have two nights, certain matches that don't deserve time is getting time. And me personally, I don't think matches that really are just thrown together should get that much time. But this got like 20-something minutes.
Yeah, it was like a long match.
Yeah,
I know they wanted to showcase him, but it's like this match kind of had no build. It was only between Alexa and Asuka.
Exactly. There was really no build to it. Kairi Sane, like, damn near. But is she still suffering from concussion or something? Because she is not the same since her concussion.
Yeah, I mean, it changes you. That's what Chris Levinsky said.
I mean, yeah, you are right about that. There's something different about Kairi Sane. So, or maybe she's just not happy. I don't blame her. But Alexa Bliss hits the Twisted Bliss on Kairi Sane. Double underleg hooks, and they win.
Are you sure she hit the Twisted Bliss?
Well, what do you call it?
Looked like she missed me.
Oh yeah, she definitely did hit them legs. She definitely did. She definitely Jinder Mahal it. She definitely hit them legs.
That's the point where I would have just went up and redid it.
Yeah, I'm about to say, y'all taping the show. Y'all can go. Y'all can be like, cut. Do it again. Y'all really could have did
really
that.
Could have did that, but hey.
But no, they say, fuck it, let's just keep it in here because Brock's in the back bitching about his time slot. So, we got new women's tag team champions that nobody cares about. And that's not even a team. So,
sure.
I mean, it's a team.
They get all this time to build up Asuka and then just have her just lose. Well,
she didn't get pinned, so I guess it's going to be the end of the Kabuki Warriors.
We'll see.
Speaking of matches that don't mean nothing, we have now Elias going one-on-one with Baron Corbin. This was what you call a SmackDown match at its best. Because...
Well, I don't even know that you can say that at its best.
I mean, at its worst. But this did not deserve to be on WrestleMania. This did not deserve a match slot, period. This didn't have to be at WrestleMania. But Baron Corbin, King Corbin, comes out, says, Elias not hurt. I demand the ref to go in there and count and ring the bell and declare me the winner. Elias comes out, hits him with the guitar. They brawl on the outside for a little bit, and they come back in. And the match is very boring and very forgettable. And I find myself doing other stuff while the match was on. And then...
True, that's how it be, though.
That's how it be. And then Elias rolls up King Corbin with the tights. Here's my issue. Do I like Baron Corbin? No. You guys look back at my 2015 NXT reviews. I always do not like Baron Corbin. But here's the thing. If you're going to have Baron Corbin retire Kurt Angle last year, right? That's a big win for him. Whether we like the match or not, whether we like who he, the situation who Kurt Angle went up against or not, Corbin won that match. So he got the heat from that matchup. And now he's losing roll-ups the next year WrestleMania to Elias, which makes the whole Kurt Angle thing waste.
Yeah, but honestly, he didn't even need this match in the first place. What does Elias gain by getting this win? Like, nothing.
He doesn't, but...
Corbin wouldn't have gained nothing, but at least he could have, made himself look like a more of a, I guess, douche. I don't know.
A douche, I'm saying, but it would have gave more credibility to the guy that retired Kurt Angle. He has none, and with him rolling up Elias, it's like, well, then it was all for nothing. Can you imagine if Brock Lesnar, when he beat the streak, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he goes and jobs to, I'm saying 2014 here, let's say he goes and jobs to 3MB, that Jinder Mahal. then you would...
I was just gonna say John Cena at the SummerSlam that year, but no, you said 3MB. That's just disrespectful for him to even be fighting 3MB.
Exactly, but I'm just saying. But if he did that, the thing is, hey, what was the whole point of this guy beating the Undertaker? It does nothing. Yeah. But now when he beat the Undertaker, he went on and squashed us in, and Brock Lesnar has went on and had a decent second half of his career since ending the streak. That's just a true statement.
I mean, honestly, ever since he came back, I think he's been he's been dope. That's all I say.
Exactly the same. But and even remember when Lashley ended the Master Lock Challenge?
Yeah.
And he got put a rocket right to his back. So that's just what it was. But I don't even need to stay on that matchup too much because, honestly, I don't even, like I said, it just sucks that's what happened. And I'm like, well, Kurt Angle could have, for all that, if you're not going to put any build for Corbin, Kurt Angle could have just went against Cena last year. But whatever. With that being said, the third match, what shocked me, was for the Raw Women's Championship, Becky Lynch taking on Shayna Baszler. So Becky comes in and her. Go ahead.
Her technical WrestleMania entrance is the same entrance she'll be doing for 3 weeks now.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm like, spoiler alert, we see this already. But
it's not even like she did it that one time. She literally did 3 weeks leading up to this. Or was that just the same footage? And I'm just tripping.
It's her come out with a face. So she comes out with championship. Shayna Baszler comes out, and
honestly, I like the all red.
I do like the all red. You know what I liked when the match started? Now when the crowd is there.
So I thought you. I thought you were gonna say like when the match was over. My bad.
No. Actually, because this match to me, I actually kind of enjoyed it. The only problem was, other than Becky getting no lift off anything she does, like her offense. The more and more I watch it, the more and more I hate it. Like the more and more I really hate Becky's offense. She gets no lift off nothing. Say what?
Yep. I said I can understand what you mean.
She got no lift off the double drop kick off the top rope. She got no lift off a leg drop. She got no lift off that rock bottom on the apron. None. She just falls. And I'm like, I don't like it. But at the beginning of the match, her and Shayna Baszler are exchanging blows. And to hear the blows connect because there's no crowd, I thought that was cool.
I like how they exaggerated more too. Like I guess I don't know if they smacked their arm harder or whatever, but it's like more impact.
It was so that was probably a benefit of it not being there. So hey, I was like, cool, I'm cool with that. The match put to the outside, like I said, Becky Lynch's offense to me is I don't like it, and like I said, she gets no lift off anything. Baszler goes to the outside, starts ramming her head across the announce table in the powerbomb form. And breaks the count, comes back in, and now here we get Stone Cold Bret Hart from Survivor Series 1996.
It was like that kind of like, wasn't it?
Yeah. So got Becky in the caribou clutch. She walks and Becky walks up the turnbuckles kind of because she gets no lift, rolls back, and pins Shayna Baszler. And that was it.
That was just random, though. Yeah, it was so random.
It just ended, and I'm like, hold on. Y'all actually were entertaining me with the match. Why did it just end like that? And I was like, it didn't even go 10 minutes. Which also makes me think, is that rumor about Vince like not liking Shayna really true?
It might be. It might just be.
Because that's hard to
swallow. They did all that build for Shayna.
What you say?
I said they did all that build for Shayna, and then out of nowhere, she just
cage fighter biting the back of Becky's neck, and all of a sudden Becky get a cheap win out of that. And I'm like, so you mean tell me Becky's gonna be a champion for another year? Like, first of all, I'm like, wow, Shayna should have took that belt. And it's not even because of my fantasy. Damn the fantasy. It's just that by storyline, you had her beat every woman in the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
So why?
They did the same with Braun too. So
yeah. But I didn't get that outcome. I wasn't a big fan of that outcome. So, but Becky Lynch retained the title, and it wasn't even what's happening next, or Shayna gets mad and beats her down to that. We go right to the next commercial before we get ready for our next match.
Well, we seen Shayna walk off, look like she about to cry. Like they look like zoomed in on her, like walking off and all that.
I still do believe that maybe if there was a live audience, I think Ronda would have came back. And honestly, I did not know this was going to be the third match on night one. I knew it was going to be on night one, but I didn't know it was going to be the third matchup. I thought it was it's a more high profile match than this. I guess I was wrong.
Yeah, but hey, it happens like that sometimes.
It do.
You go from being the main event to the third match.
It happens often, don't it? Next up, we go to the Intercontinental Championship, or was this when R-Truth got back his 24/7 championship? Because I forgot what placement that was.
I thought he had it back on he went to somebody's house and got it back.
Yeah, but then Mojo got it tonight.
Yeah, Mojo got it. I swear, by tomorrow, Gartner's gonna have a championship. He's going home with it for a week.
Oh my god! But look, that's fine. We're talking about Daniel Bryan and Sami Zayn, second MVP because of the talking in the match. He's like, Daniel, no, and just so Daniel they fight on the outside, and then Daniel Bryan finally brings him back in, and just hearing Sami Zayn's commentary through the whole match was hilarious to me.
Yeah, Sami Zayn, because Sami Zayn is a good talker, but doing the match when he's smack talking is even better.
Yes, I definitely agree with that. During the match where he's a smack talking is better. So here's my thing. Daniel Bryan is on the top rope, and he comes down and gets a haluva kick out of nowhere. Like, really, it just hits him out of nowhere. And that's it.
Nice. It came out of nowhere. It was still nice.
It was so nice. I was just like, but they were building to something, and I thought they could have did a little bit more because it's Daniel Bryan and Sami Zayn. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, that's true.
And so, but I mean, it did come out of nowhere. It was nice. I'm not hating on the kick or anything like that. I just felt as though like, damn, it could have been more. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you mean, but I mean, they had a lot of finishes. I feel like came out of nowhere. The Becky thing and this one, and it's I don't know. It's just weird to me. You know, usually they build up to it. They do the big finish. They do the big moves and everything. Now it just come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Unless night one they wanted to have more flash finishes, more out of nowhere finishes.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, but so Sami Zayn retains the Intercontinental Championship, which I kind of went with Dan Bryan off impulse, but it does make sense as Dan Bryan taking time off, don't want to get sick neither. Got to worry about his child that's coming into the world. So
yeah. That's what a lot of people should be doing.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a lot of people should be doing. So I don't fault him for that. Next up is which I thought up until this point was the match of the night. Up until that point. And this is for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. The Miz is obviously sick. But what they said, he was injured on the angle that happened on SmackDown. I'm like,
which didn't make sense.
It didn't make sense. Like, first of all, so he beats the New Day Usos down, and they climb to the top of the ladder and pose, and he's injured.
Yeah, seriously. Big E, okay, that's reasonable because he was under the ladder.
Yeah.
Kofi, you can understand if he was to be out. And the Usos, you could understand because he got hit with the ladder. You'll never know. He literally climbed on the ladder and celebrated. And
yes.
Talking about being jealous, looked on the ladder and all that stuff. So, I mean.
Exactly. After, it's amazing. After they beat him down with ladders. I was like, okay, this is, I don't know what you're trying to do. So now they do a triple threat match, one representative from each team. John Morrison taking on Jimmy Uso, taking on Kofi Kingston. So,
side note, if the Usos was out of this and this was only Kofi and John Morrison, this would have been like match of the night for sure.
I think Jimmy did good.
He did good, but I'm saying he's not a singles guy. So if it's like a plain
one
of the tag team guys that's singles guys, John Morrison and Kofi in the ladder match.
Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah, that would have been great. But since we got Jimmy in the mix, so I mean you can tell, but it's still pretty good. So they all start off kind of quickly. They try to get some kicks in. Uso monkey flips Kofi, and then Kofi monkey flips John Morrison. They both lay on their feet. That was all hot. They had a standoff. Mm-hmm. Then they go outside and get the ladders. They all set up the ladders to try to reach it. Jimmy Uso takes the first bump off the ladder. No, Xavier Woods tweeted during this matchup, and he made a good point that I want to bring up. He said that every bump that these guys are taking in this matchup hurts 10 times worse. And because there's no adrenaline going, and I'm like, you know what, that makes sense. You're at an empty performance center. There's no crowd, and because I know there are some people saying, I wish he took some more bumps. I'm like, y'all gotta understand something, y'all. Those bumps hurt. Jeff Hardy, remember WrestleMania 23 when Jeff Hardy jumped off and broke Edge through the ladder? Edge to this day still doesn't like that bump, but
yeah, because he broke his back.
Exactly. Now peep this though. Can you imagine if they did that with no audience?
Oh no,
bruh.
Yeah,
nah. Edge would have retired.
You sound like Seth Rollins.
Exactly. It would have been terrible. So I get what Xavier was just saying, which gives me more props to them because they put on a good effort. So a lot of back and forth action here. Now they were getting hit with the ladder. They were taking some ladder bumps. Jimmy Uso sets up a ladder between the two ropes in the corner, but he gets laid on there, and then John Morrison gives him a starship pain on the ladder. Dad like it sucked. Kofi does Kofi does a springboard and monkey flips John Morrison off the ladder. That was hot. But then
all the stuff that they do was good though. Like all that kind of stuff was dope.
It was dope, and it got time too. Kofi jumps over the top rope to John Morrison. He catches him. Then they set up a ladder bridge between the ring and the barricade. I was like, I don't think they're gonna do that spot because it's just too much. If the crowd was there, they taking that spot. But I'm like, no, that's gonna hurt. So, but Kofi lays Jimmy Uso across the ladder. So he's going on the top rope to dive through the ladder. But John Morrison walks the tightrope. Because only 2 people in this business that I know that can do that. That I've seen do that. And that's him. And
Elix Skipper.
Elix also, okay, that's 3. Because Shelton Benjamin was the other one.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I'm talking about, now people may throw in Undertaker, obviously. But I'm like, no, I'm talking with no assistance.
Yeah, nah, the one that just plain out, just run across the ropes.
Exactly. So he walks the tightrope, and then he goes and gives Kofi a Spanish fly off the top rope. I thought that was sick. And then Jimmy gets off the ladder and gives Morrison an Uso splash. So that whole sequence was great. It's more for fighting on the ladder. Kofi climbs on the insert of the ladder and knocks down Jimmy Uso. There's a double foot stomp to John Morrison on the outside. That like it sucked. Uso brings the ladder in and puts the ladder in between the ladder and the ropes. Throws Kofi in and talk about some. Kofi. He says special face. He's like a pancake, boy. So I like the commentary Jimmy Uso was giving. He goes up on the super kicks. Morrison goes up on the top, but he gets tossed out the ring, and I'm like, now was that an edited shot? Like, did he fall on like a crush pad, and then they decided to move that joint? Because I don't know, but
he could have. You never know. They could do way more creative stuff. Like, he could have, like, somebody could have threw somebody. They landed. You know how how the extras out there waiting for the kid. He could have threw him out there, and they could have just like cut him. And they edited him back and he on the ground or something,
Exactly. So, but now, Morrison's up on one side of the ladder, and then Jimmy is on, and Kofi on the other end of the ladder. They all grab the tag team holster, and they're all trying to pull out the belt, and then John Morrison pulls the belt snap. He falls back and lands on the ladder. That's what I call an unnecessary bump. He did not need to take that bump. I understand it's WrestleMania. He wants to try to put on a show for us at home. Thank you for that, Morrison, but you didn't have to do that. And he falls down with the tag team championships, and he wins the tag team championships.
Yeah, he wins the match. Yep.
He wins the matchup. Now, in my personal opinion, this was the match of the night up until this point.
That is true. Yep.
This is when, in my opinion, I was like, okay, y'all showed that y'all can have decent matches with nobody there, and even
though Sammy and Daniel Bryan was good too.
Yeah,
but this one elevated it.
Yeah, the only thing about Sammy and Daniel Bryan was it was too short, so it didn't get to that next gear for me. I think if it got more time, then that probably would have been the match also. But this clearly got 20 minutes. Next we get Kevin Owens taking on the Monday Night Messiah, Seth Rollins. So Seth Rollins really does come out like Jesus.
Yeah, all white.
All white, got the Messiah going down the side of his pants. He tried to get Kevin Owens a hug and everything. KO come out with the KO Mania 4 shirt, which I tried to order yesterday, but it don't come out till next week.
Yeah, I don't know how you gonna get it anyway.
Well, I mean, they still mailing stuff. You know WWE not gonna stop mailing stuff.
Oh, I thought they stopped shipping.
Because I just ordered me a Monday Night Messiah shirt.
Okay.
I'm about to say, how they stop shipping it? Every day we get a commercial, buy one t-shirt, get $1 off, 50% off.
I'm talking about not WWE, but the company that ships
it. I'm about to say, dog, they still doing stuff. But so this match was nice. So what there's a lot of brawling going on in this matchup. Kevin Owens takes a backdrop bump on the apron. First of all, Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins are going to put on good stuff.
When it's fresh, then yes. Because when they had that feud with Jericho, they was fighting every week on Raw, and I was just tired of it.
I agree with you on that one.
But now that it's refreshed, and we don't see it that often, then yes, it's good. But
it's good.
When we used to see it every week, a variation of it every week, it's just not the same.
It isn't. He gets a Falcon's arrow on the apron, which every time Seth Rollins does that Falcon arrow on the apron, it like bothers the hell out of me.
Yeah, because it look like it's just killing them.
Exactly. But Seth Rollins goes off and he gets himself disqualified, and I'm just like, really?
Yeah, that was. Yeah.
I was like, no, we not in it. So Kevin Owens gets on the microphone and says, no, we not ending it like that. I want you to come back now, and we're gonna do a no disqualification match.
Apparently, Kevin Owens makes the rules.
You know what? Fuck it. It's WrestleMania with no people. Anything goes. It should be like Attitude Era right now. Because in my personal opinion, every match should have a stipulation to it, because you got to bring entertainment to these people somehow, because there's nobody there. So,
yeah, that's true.
Kevin Owens just pick up the pop-up powerbomb, and then so when they come back, they're fighting again, but it goes to the outside. Seth Rollins gets the steel steps, hits Kevin Owens to it, and then with a steel chair, but Owens fights back, hits him with the ring bell, and then puts him on the announce table. Kevin Owens goes up to like this built WrestleMania sign,
yeah,
where the audience is at, and this guy does a senton off the sign through Seth Rollins through the announce table.
Yeah,
sick.
Looked like Shane McMahon.
That was sick, and I was like, wow, that was hot. But see, that's the kind of stuff I like. That's the kind of stuff that this thing needed. And then Kevin Owens gets the win.
Yeah, I really do like that he challenged his inner Shane McMahon. I feel like I liked it a lot.
Exactly, because first of all, I don't think people realize that was kind of high.
Yeah, it was.
that was kind of high. He challenged inner Shane McMahon, and we got a good bump. Which that right there, with the whole the no disqualification, that added to the match, and then I like that match too. So now, ever since Daniel Bryan came on the screen, it's like each match was getting elevated. So I was liking it.
Well, to this point, yes. Each point was getting elevated, yes.
Okay, because obviously somebody come up that you obviously didn't like.
We had a decline.
Yeah, we had a huge decline after this. And that decline happened to be my boy for the Universal Championship. Goldberg taking on the monster among men, Braun Strowman. This is for the Universal Championship. So me and Prime had a couple good ideas that they didn't use none of. I was like, okay, well, obviously Braun's coming in cold. He's coming in ice cold. He's not the Braun from 2 years ago. He lost all that momentum. There's no point of them taking the championship off of Goldberg, because they want to do Goldberg and Reigns. After seeing this match, it was news to me of how much I wanted to see Reigns and Goldberg. Because say what you want about Roman, he would have put on a better match than that.
Definitely. And the fact that I still can't get over this. It's a recorded show. I know Q say I said a lot. It's a recorded show. Y'all can do whatever y'all wanted to.
They could have
had a longer match. They could have took a timeout. Goldberg could have sat, took a drink or something, and came back in the match whenever they felt like recording again. I
agree. And first of all, I've seen Goldberg, no BS. I've seen Goldberg have good matches in live audience in a short amount of time. Him and Brock Lesnar was one of the best matches on WrestleMania 33.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Him and Diamond Dallas Page Halloween Havoc was a good match. Even the Undertaker one was terrible. Him and Dolph Ziggler was good.
Yeah, him and Dolph Ziggler was good. Yep.
So it's just like, okay. And first of all, I had the way Strowman was taking them spears at all. And I was just like, okay, so after 4 spears, Strowman kicks out and then goes and go for the jackhammer. So I'm like, prime time's wish is going to come true. Let's see how they do it.
I thought he was going to do the extras or whatever they was going to do.
Exactly.
However they was going to do it. Hold him up by his feet. I don't know. I don't care.
I was like, let's see this. Like, we zoomed in on Goldberg. He's like, and then he just take it up. And then it's like all this shaky cam and then jackhammer. I was like, let's do it. But no, Braun, he gets Goldberg and puts him in a power slam and gives him 4 of the worst power slams that I've seen.
The last one wasn't even a power slam. The last one, he slammed him like on his arm.
Yeah, I was like, okay. And then so after that, I'm like, okay, Goldberg kicks out, and we go back to, you know, the Bulls is going at it. Goldberg loses.
Yeah.
So maybe this is karma for Goldberg beating the Fiend so shitty. But I'm just like, but see, once again, what does that do for the Fiend now? Because it's like, so you mean to tell me you lost to Goldberg, this guy who just got demolished by Braun Strowman, who just lost his Intercontinental Championship.
He lost the feud. He got lucky because he wasn't doing nothing.
Exactly. Who just lost his feud with Sami Zayn?
You think if he would have won that feud and him and like Sami was feuding, who you think would have got that spot? Daniel Bryan, Shinsuke, or just they would have just like postponed the match?
I think they would have either just postponed the match, or if he had won the feud, I wouldn't think that Daniel Bryan would do that. I think they would just honestly postpone the match.
Yeah, because I mean, just because Bryan had nothing to do, that's why they put him in the match. And he had no momentum. He had no nothing.
Nothing. So this means I want to have a Roman Reigns Braun Strowman matchup whenever they resume. Ew.
And that's what I don't like, because we don't have that for like 3 years in a row.
And I'm like,
every year it seems like we get that every year.
Exactly. I'm like, I didn't like Roman and Strowman then. I don't like Roman and Strowman now. And this time, Strowman don't have the momentum that he did back then.
Or maybe they'll save it. Maybe they'll be like, I know y'all don't want to see Roman and Strowman again, so we'll find some way to take it off of Strowman and then have Roman versus that person, maybe.
Be honest with you, I want to see Roman versus Goldberg. I wanted to see that. And I don't want to just keep it on Goldberg until Roman comes back and then they do... Look, with them both, I believe Goldberg could get Roman up in the jackhammer. Because Roman's lighter than Bray. And
he's lighter, and he's like, I don't want to say more nifty, but he can like,
yeah,
you know,
he can bounce.
He can probably stand himself up straight if he could.
Exactly, he can get him up in the jackhammer. He can get some spears out of him. Roman's going to spear, Superman punch, Samoan drop. It would have been a better entertaining match. It probably would have went about 2 minutes longer. And I just felt as though that these circumstances, it just sucked. And I'm just like, all right, well, that was that. So Goldberg loses, and I am a Goldberg fan. I knew Goldberg was going to lose, but I just felt as though that it was going to be better, you know?
I thought they was going to win just to prolong him and Roman.
Exactly.
So whenever Roman decided to come back, but I guess not.
Oh, well, I mean, not when he decided to come back. Whenever we flatten this curve type of thing, and we can kind of get back to normal, then yeah. So now part one about to come to an end because it's time for the main event. And the main event is what you exactly thought it was. It's the Boneyard match between AJ Styles and The Undertaker. I'm going to tell you this right now. You cannot beat WWE when it comes to production. You can't.
Yeah.
And they proved it tonight. When WWE was,
I'll say as long as Kevin Dunn is at the helm, then yeah. You know, if somebody else take over, we don't know how that's gonna be yet.
Yeah, well, no, but don't just give credit to Kevin Dunn. Don't forget about Jeremy Bishop, or what's his name from TNA?
Jeremy Borash.
Yeah, Borash, because he is the one also that is responsible for a lot of this editing and stuff like that too.
He the one that used to do the total deletion.
Exactly. So, and I was like, I gotta get credit because first of all, I was like, I don't know how this Boneyard match. It's a buried alive match, so that's what it was, but it's in the actual graveyard. So I was like, I don't know how it's going to work out. I'm curious to see how they're going to do it, and I'm not going to even lie to you. This was the best match on the card.
Yeah. Yep.
This one, and then after that was over, the ladder match. Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins and some of Dan Bryan, Sami Zayn were the ones that I really liked. So, and I was so happy when I seen this. I was like, because you know what? I'm thinking about it. Fate has a way of working its way out. Like they said in the promo, Fate has a weird way of showing us things. If there was a real crowd, Prime, who wants to see The Undertaker in an actual wrestling match with AJ Styles?
Nobody. That's why I like it, because they could do whatever they wanted. They could have did anything. We'll get into it later. They could have did different, characters even. So,
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'll definitely get it. So this hearse drives up, and they're playing the Undertaker's music and everything, and then all of a sudden,
which I'm not gonna lie. When I heard the hearse and I seen the hearse coming up, I was kind of disappointed. I was like, he really not gonna ride in on the motorcycle?
Yeah,
I was disappointed.
And then when it came out, I was just like, oh, here he come. And he wait for AJ. I thought AJ was already gonna be in there, but then the casket came out, and then they don't want. No, I was like, oh, that was cool. I like that.
AJ Styles in jeans.
Exactly. AJ Styles in the dungarees. He comes out. I told you, see AJ Styles. First of all, I was like, AJ, you Christian man. I didn't think you was gonna lay in no casket. So he comes out like, where are you, Taker? And then the Metallica starts playing, and then here comes Undertaker on the motorcycle.
Do they not have the rights to keep rolling or the other song, Big Evil or nothing?
You know the whole Limp Bizkit thing. They had like a little bit of falling out type thing.
But they use their song in 2K every year.
Yeah, well, actually, this past year, 2K, they used the Dead Man Walker. You done it now.
They still had it with Kane and Undertaker's song.
Oh, they do? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, look. I mean, I don't know, but I mean, I don't mind Metallica.
I don't either, but I was just looking for that. I just felt like this didn't fit because of the other Taker songs. So maybe that's just me.
Okay, I would say because you wouldn't hear that. Keep rolling.
Not even that. It's like this song was all lively and all happy, and to keep rolling is kind of like maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me.
So Undertaker
should have came out bumping NWA or something.
Stop it! Fuck the police! Fuck the police! Yo, what the hell? I would have died if that happened. If he came out a blast a hole like I got 99 problems, but the bitch ain't what hit me.
Or he would have came out. I got my mind on my money and my money on my mind.
Him rolling down. Yo, you want him coming out to gin and juice?
Not just the instrumental. You just ride.
Yo, I'm doing that now. I'm going to get a clip of him riding in there, and I'm going to dub over gin and juice. I will see how that joke look. That joke gonna be fire.
Oh,
that joke gonna be.
That's how it's gonna look. You gonna hit a motorcycle in the back? Yeah.
Yeah, rolling down the street. Yeah, that's gonna be great. But look, so Undertaker coming. He talking. Come on, old man. Which, first of all, these two Southern guys jabbing at each other was hilarious to me.
Before we get into the match, I like the reveal, I guess you can say, of the Undertaker.
Yes.
Like, because we see him on the bike, of course we know it's him, but then like we go from the boots to the pants to the vest. When you see the vest, you kind of like, oh, okay, and then you see him, he got the like the bandana. So does the bandana is what makes it official?
Yeah.
For the vest.
Exactly. So I was like, oh, we full bike taker. So they all drawn to each other. So he started beating up. He was like, "Come on, Alan. Come on, you want the bone? You know what I'm saying? You dug a grave. I'm gonna show you a grave." So he takes him over there, throws him into the casket, throws him on the windshield of the hearse. He takes some bar or something from the ground, tries to stab AJ, but he gets his arm broken in the window. Son of a bitch.
He actually cut himself. But yeah, like, because you can see it poking at his arm later in the match.
Exactly. So I was just like, so whatever it is the power of editing. So it was great. Power production. So they go.
I'm letting Goldberg himself.
They fight on top of the hearse, and to Undertaker all day they go top of that hearse. He's sitting there beating up AJ on top of the hearse, and then AJ started gets the upper hand, and they start making their way over to the grave. And I like how was it AJ knocks him in the grave first, don't he? Or
yeah.
Or Taker, yeah, he knocks him.
Well, I think Taker knocks him in first, but then
oh yeah, Gallows and Anderson appear.
Yeah. What you want, Taker, man? Or something like that, he said.
So they appear, and then he just goes from the grave. And first of all, he does his trademark tobacco spit. I was like, they brought that back. Like, let's do this, bro. I was marking out. I was really marking out. They walk up to there,
so crazy.
and then also this blinding light shows, and then all the doors from this barn fall down, and the Druids are here.
I thought they was coming to beat up Gallows and Anderson.
But they start circling Undertaker. I was just like, uh-oh. He was like, let's do this. So we had a little Mortal Kombat Steven Seagal attack shit. The Undertaker beat up all these Druids, and then Anderson and Gallows is beating down the Undertaker. And he's like, get the shovel! And they get the shovel, but Undertaker's hitting him with the shovel, and then AJ comes out of nowhere and hits Undertaker.
It had like a vase.
Yeah,
like,
and something that exploded over the Undertaker.
It was like a tombstone, or supposed to be a makeshift tombstone.
Yeah. And he comes out, starts beating up Undertaker. Yo, Undertaker is trying to get nominated for an Academy Award. The breathing.
Oh, he said he was about to die for real.
He was like, I was like, bro, don't sound 55, bro. You a hard 55 right now.
I got asthma.
I got this.
I was like, oh my.
So he leading.
For real.
AJ runs up and he crashes Undertaker through the wall. He's like, "Come on, you ain't got it anymore, old man." He said, "You ain't got it anymore."
Like spit him through this wall.
Yeah, and that was a cool spot too. So he's beating down Undertaker, takes the shovel. He said it hits him and knocks him right into the grave. Undertaker falls into the grave, and then he's just laying there. AJ goes and he's about to not take the forklift and put the dirt on him. But then Undertaker, this blinding light comes, and the Undertaker appears right behind him. And they just like,
I thought that's when he was gonna change characters. So
okay,
I don't know why I kept thinking he was gonna change.
I didn't think he was going to change. I felt as though they were going to have some doppelgangers. And
okay.
Yeah. Now I'll get to that in a minute. But so Undertaker starts beating down AJ Styles from behind him. And then AJ goes to run to him. He said, "While you're running, boy." So he climbs the ladder on top of this barn. And but as AJ trying to run, Undertaker climbs up behind him and summons fire and blocks AJ. Cool as shit. Anderson and Gallows come up there. Anderson gets tossed. Gallows is tossed off the roof.
Off of camera view.
Off of camera view. Anderson gets Tombstone up there on that rally roof. And then he grabs AJ and choke slams AJ off the roof.
I'm surprised AJ took that bump, honestly.
But honestly, it's like they probably had some like cushion down there or something like that. But
yeah,
he fell through. See, he hit something because it was like a tin roof that he fell through.
I thought he was either gonna choke slam him off the roof or like just through the roof, so like you don't see where he lands.
Yeah.
Or I thought somehow AJ was gonna do the phenomenal forearm off the top of this roof.
Bro, I was waiting for forearm off the tombstone. I was waiting for it. So Terry comes out there to talk about something. Come on, AJ, to talk all the time. He said, "Here, let me help you out here." He puts him in the tombstone position, walks him over to the grave, and he's talking to him. He's like, "Yo, what's my wife's name? How old am I?" So AJ sitting there pleading with him. He's like, "Please don't bury me. Please don't bury me." And he's like, "No, man. You gave me a lot of a tough fight that a lot of other people that usually have. Yeah, I'm not gonna bury you, man." So he stood up. They gave him a Spartan kick into the grave. And then Undertaker goes to the forklift.
I don't know why I was expecting something because of how slow he was moving.
I was expecting something too, but I'll get to all that because we definitely got to talk about this after the case. He goes to the forklift, buries AJ Styles. That hand that was sticking up out the dirt was sold 1996, but it was it's like I would have rather like maybe his arm. And it's like you don't cover AJ up in dirt, but you could cover his arm, so it looks like he's buried, but he's really not. They have his arm up.
No. I'm surprised they ain't go more hokey. I'm surprised they ain't let the arm do the too sweet. I'm surprised that's not what it was.
Yo, wouldn't that have been? Because first of all, that'd have been insult to injury if they had did it too sweet.
Yeah, because I'm like this is not hokey, but it's already like You can tell it's cinematic. It's
exactly.
It's a movie, so it's a story. So might as well have him, quote unquote, be rebellious and not give up and do the too sweet while his arm hanging out.
You're right, fair enough. And then after he buries AJ Styles, he reveals on the tombstone, AJ Styles, rest in peace, 1977 to 2020. So
I really don't want that to be no timing issue.
I really don't either. I'm just like, please, Lord, keep him on here. But and then Undertaker gets on the motorcycle with the Metallica blast, and then pins out his logo on top of the barn in the purple lighting. That was badass.
He was like, "Hey, I know you had that purple light. What? Oh, there you go. I'm gonna point to this logo over here. This area, I'll make my logo appear. Okay."
So how'd you feel about now? Now we can get into the nitty gritty. How'd you feel about the match overall?
I thought the match was good. It was entertaining. It was good. I like out of the ring stuff. The first time they tried to do something like this with the Wyatt family, it wasn't quite there. It felt like something was missing. When they did it with the Matt Hardy thing, it felt like it was there, but something else was missing. Like something from some element was missing. This one, I feel like they got it right.
Well, I'm gonna say this. I think because I'm not going to say too much stuff to miss. I think the Wyatt New Day thing was pretty cool, but everybody was really kind of coming at them because they knew they was copied off of TNA and Broken Matt stuff. They knew that. When it came to the Matt Hardy stuff, everybody felt as though that it was a toned down. First of all, it was a toned down version, and it was on Raw.
Yeah.
It was. People was hoping it was at WrestleMania last year. Remember? Or
at least had a pay-per-view or something.
Oh no, not WrestleMania last year. WrestleMania 34. Everybody thought it was going to be on pay-per-view, but we got it on Raw.
Because they still. I don't think they were feuding. They were like a tag team by then.
Well, no. I'm saying they became a tag team at WrestleMania 34.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Everybody wanted them to still continue the feud, but the feud was basically over at WrestleMania.
Exactly, but they thought that the match was going to the final deletion was going to happen at WrestleMania, and it didn't. It happened on Raw. It had commercials, and it wasn't as it didn't go there quite like it did at Impact, such as when Bray Wyatt fell into the Lake of Reincarnation, he never came back out, and we thought we was going to see Husky Harris or something like that, and we felt as though we're going to see more. So it kind of was good and let down the same kind of way. This one, I felt as though because their back was against the wall, they just had to go full out everything. So I think that's why people may receive it better. Here's my thing. The only disappointment I have is that there were no Undertaker doppelgangers. What I thought was going to happen was when they was on top of the roof, I thought the OC's last ploy or was going to be like the Undertaker sees Purple Glove Undertaker, but he's in the shadows. It's enough to see as Purple Glove Undertaker, but it's obviously somebody standing in as him. And then he looks at the other side and he sees Ministry of Darkness Undertaker with the long beard. It's obviously somebody else, because you could have got, now once again, obviously we are doing social distancing, so it's hard to get certain actors to be willing to come do that. But I'm saying, but that's probably what they could have did. Or they could have the Undertaker come in and dress up and do those things.
They could have did it because they could have edited it in the way.
Yeah, and it could have looked like that. He was about to get. I mean, hell, you had Luke Gallows play fake Kane before. Okay, so it's possible. And then I felt as though like the old Undertakers were going to start beating down the current Undertaker, and maybe Kane was going to come and help Undertaker out. Like he just summons, beats them down, and then goes back to being the mayor of Knoxville. So it do stuff like that, and then
I really thought Kane was going to be the one.
Exactly. That is the only disappointment that I do have, that we didn't get kind of like multiple kind of characters. But other than that, the match was great to me. It was something that WWE never done before, and I felt as though that it was something that really It's like I want to see more of this in the future. I understand that this is not a Vince McMahon thing. He doesn't like this kind of stuff. But it's different, and for those who are fan Lucha Underground, which people like Jim Cornette is not, and stuff like that, then it's going to be kind of a problem. They think it's killing wrestling, but I think it's entertaining. And now I'm even more excited to see how the Firefly Funhouse plays, because see, also, if we're having two types of matches like that, Vince don't want to outshine the other match. So maybe he feels as though the Fiend and Cena is bigger, so that match will be different. Because now I'm really excited to see how the Fiend and Cena do in the Firefly Funhouse match, but because I really enjoyed the Boneyard. So I'm part one of WrestleMania inside the Performance Center. I'm gonna say this: it wasn't WrestleMania, but they gave it the best damn effort they had. And I know there were a lot of superstars there that did not want to work. I get that. And I feel bad that they had to work under those conditions. But I'm telling you, the one they gave it the best they get. So I'm going to give it a B.
Okay.
I'm giving part one a B because the Boneyard match, the ladder match, Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins, and Daniel Bryan and Sami Zayn, I think those guys knew that it's WrestleMania, and they knew that we got to do the best that we possibly can, because this was obviously part was going to be part of useless matches. We didn't need Elias and Corbin. We didn't need the Women's Tag Team Championship match. Goldberg and Strowman was the worst match on the card, the biggest disappointment ever. And Goldberg needs the crowd.
Yeah.
Goldberg is a character he came out to smoke. I'm like, that bro needs fireworks. It's not Goldberg, you know what I'm saying? And
so well, tomorrow I know, are we getting like Alistair and Bobby tomorrow? That's gonna be a match I don't care about.
Yes, so tomorrow, we're getting Otis and Dolph. We're getting the Fatal 5-Way.
That match needs a crowd bad.
Yeah, bro, it really does. Especially after what happened on SmackDown. It needs the crowd. But we're getting Otis and Dolph. We're getting the Fatal 5-Way. We're getting Alistair and Bobby. We're getting the Last Man Standing. We're getting the Firefly Funhouse. We're getting Rhea Ripley and Charlotte. And we're getting McIntyre and Lesnar.
Yeah, so it'll probably be like 3 hours, maybe, or less than that.
I think it'll be 3 hours tomorrow night. And it's like this. I don't care if Lashley and Aleister Black sucks. I don't care if the Fatal 5-Way sucks. I don't care. All I care about is that the Last Man Standing match is good. The Firefly Funhouse match is good. Drew beats Brock in the main event. And those are the ones that I really, really care about.
Okay.
But it's like, I'm curious to see, because I know Edge watched that ladder match. I know Edge watched that Boneyard match. They got some work to follow tomorrow.
Yeah, because if we thought Edge was going to do the spear off the platform into a table, well, I mean, well, they're going to have to do it off the WrestleMania side.
Yeah, I'm just saying, after Kevin Owens did on the WrestleMania side, I'm like, woo, okay. So, but if you think about it, though, like, seriously think about it, Fate has a way of playing his hand. Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins, the Boneyard match, the ladder match, we would have never got if it was a regular WrestleMania.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm going to be 1,000% real with you. Number one, Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins would have ended in disqualification. That would have sucked. Number two, that triple threat tag team match would have been in the pre-show. That would have sucked. And then the Boneyard match would have been Undertaker versus AJ Styles in a regular one-on-one contest, and that would have sucked. So let's give credit where credit is due. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Yeah.
So
Undertaker rolled off and it's back on looking cool.
Exactly. Like AJ said, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. But what do you rate part one?
You mean like grading wise, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, unless you want to do passing and failing.
I was gonna say it gets a pass for me, but grade wise, I'll probably give it a B.
Okay. Like I said,
honestly,
you know,
no, I'm just saying, honestly, everybody was saying this is gonna be the worst WrestleMania ever because it ain't got no fans. I was like, if it's like I keep saying to my point, it's pre-taped, so it can't be bad because why would you let that air if you're not
exactly
okay with your match?
I mean, look, I get it. People are angry. People are upset at the circumstances. I get that 1,000%. Trust me, I do. But what all I'm saying is that it's predetermined, and it's pre-taped, and there's a post-production. People, here's the thing. I want everybody to understand. I would have been mad. You would have been mad if we had to wait for one night on Sunday to sit there and watch this 8-hour show.
Well, yeah, because they always 8 hours.
Is that
literally?
You would have been pissed.
Work the whole time.
Exactly. You would have been pissed. I would have been pissed that we got to sit there and watch 8 hours. So by the time certain matches came up, you don't want to see them. I mean, you don't want to see them, and like I said,
the crowd be tired sometimes.
The crowd be tired. They won't be into it, and on top of that, certain matches when they got time, like I said, we would never got that ladder match, which was an awesome ass ladder match, but we would never got that if we had a live crowd. Undertaker and AJ Styles, I'm sorry, there's nothing they can do. AJ is a guy who makes anybody look good, but he would have not did enough to make me care about a Taker match. This American Badass, him coming out to Metallica and doing all the other stuff, it was just even if it was a live action Buried Alive match, it wouldn't have been the same. It wouldn't have been the same. And who wants to see Bray Wyatt and John Cena actually wrestle?
Yeah, you got a point, man.
So, like I said, look, faith has a way of showing us things that we didn't know that we wanted to see. And I think that right now, this is not going to be the best WrestleMania of all time, but it ain't going to be ranked the worst because, in my opinion, WrestleMania, there's 3 WrestleManias to me that are absolutely shit. Can you guess what they are?
Are they the early 27?
27 is one of them.
16?
No.
Oh, wow, okay. Are we counting the earlier ones? Look, not counting them?
No. Here are my top 3 shit WrestleMania to the point, like, you can't make me watch them draws again. 9,
27,
11,
9, okay.
and 27.
Yeah, 9 is bad. Well, okay, look. 9 is bad, but that was like one of the first ones that had that outdoor setting aside from WrestleMania 3.
Exactly.
So I guess that's probably why it's rewatchable because it's a theme.
It is, but 11.
People watch it for the theme.
You're
11,
right.
yeah.
But 11 was, oh my God, it was trash. I'm sorry, LT. But 11 was trash.
Bam Bam, yeah.
Bam Bam LT. Shawn takes the worst jackknife in powerbomb history. Bob Backlund versus Bret Hart. Are you serious? Razor Ramon, Jeff Jarrett. Like, it wasn't good. It wasn't good at all. So
yeah.
And that was in the worst year, 95. So obviously, once again, that those were the bad. And of course, we ain't got to talk about WrestleMania 27. So those were the worst ones to me.
I just want them to have more themed manias, though. I wish.
Well, I mean, did they have one this year? Obviously,
they had one this year. Of course, it didn't work out. But like, say they got Hollywood next year. I want them to redo them Hollywood things that they did in 05.
I would love for them to do that.
Do different movies or like have something related to Hollywood in their entrance or whatever.
I want the walkway to be the Hollywood Walk of Fame with all their names in the stars.
Yeah, or the announcers.
Yeah.
Do some. I like when they do gimmicks like that.
Well, guys, that was part 1. So tomorrow we'll be back with part 2 of our review of WrestleMania, and I hope I hope they deliver and surprise me. I really, like I said, I've been really excited to see what Edge and Orton do for the last.
Don't say that.
What?
Don't say I'm excited to see anything. That's when they make it bad.
You're right. I'm intrigued to see.
I really want to see this match. Oh, you do?
I am intrigued to see certain matches on part 2. So I hope they just deliver like part 1 did on certain things. So post your comments down below. How'd you guys enjoy part 1? And I mean, don't hate just to hate. I mean, give credit where credit is due. I understand it's WWE. I understand this is not your WrestleMania. I understand, but we got to try to find positives in this very dark time. So please, legit, post down your comments of what you felt as though you liked about part 1, or if you didn't like anything legit, then that is your opinion. Hit that like button if you guys enjoyed our review. Hit the subscribe button for more WWE content, wrestling content, and WrestleMania Part 2 coming tomorrow right here on Nerd Coalition. So once again, this is NC, place to be, Mr. AD, and not Deion Sanders for Primetime.
All right, y'all.
All right, and Nerd Coalition is out.